Hello everybody and welcome to another episode. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I posted my review video yesterday on the different covers we're going to do. I did want to show you this. Now this is a work in progress. I don't know what I'm going to do. You know how I said I wanted one for my grandmother, but I don't know what she liked and didn't like. Well, my mom had this material. It's a heavier material. It's also very polyester-like. But she was, I don't know what she was going to make with it. I think she said a dress with a jacket or a skirt and jacket, and then she could wear a pretty blouse with it. I'm not sure. But anyways, this is what we have. So the reason why I was thinking of using this is because my grandmother's photos that are going to be in her journal, it's going to be more the vintage style because the photos are black and white. So I thought this would be pretty. And because it's grandma, I found a few doilies because I had a whole bunch of doilies. And I thought I had a beige one, a big one that would wrap around. But I didn't. I guess I donated it because I'm constantly getting rid of stuff. But I did keep 4 smaller ones. And so that's the biggest and the smallest. These 2 are more the medium size. So I was thinking I could use that. I was trying to see if I could wrap this around. Whoops. But if you take it and wrap it, I don't know. I guess it's an option. And just not have the whole thing in the front. Just like that. That's an option. Now, the cardboard inside that I'm wrapping it around is the size of the journal. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, so I was thinking maybe I should just do this and then this. And then her name starts with a B, so the letter B. I don't know that I like this. This is just too modern, but just trying to get my creative brain going, right? And then I have these brads with, this one has gems on it and this one has pearls on it. So I was thinking maybe in the middle of this doily to put that brad, and on the middle of this doily putting the gem one, because the pink complements the burgundy. This is more of a burgundy. But then I was trying to think, what else could I put here that would be decadent? Is that a word? Of her generation, right? It would be something that would be her generation. So I can't, like, my brain's not, like, I can't grasp what else I would put here for my grandmother, who I am now a grandmother. So my grandmother was born in 1915. So I'm thinking 1915 to 1935. Those are the 20 years that would have shaped her, the things that she lived through and stuff. So 1915 to 1935, what was the style back then, right? And then because I want to do it like a vintage one, I'm not good with vintage. Yes, I have supplies, but I don't know how to put them together. So I'm going to have to watch some videos. If you have any ideas of things I could add, like instead of these gems, I was thinking maybe putting buttons. What else did they do back in those days? I have advertisements. You know, like maybe some beauty ones, but on a cover, I don't know that. Brassiere, I'll probably put that in her journal around a photo or something. Work too hard, ending insanity. Anyways, yeah, so I don't know. I don't want to put paper on the cover. like paper is going to be the backing and the pages inside. But I'd like to do something. Maybe I could put a picture of her here. I don't know. I don't know. So if you have any ideas on how to do a journal for someone born in the early 1900s, let me know. You know, turn of the century even, because I don't have any pictures of her father, but I will be having information about him in it. So yeah, let me know if you have any ideas. That's what I've come up with so far. Now, I probably won't use this, but just so that my brain is thinking, okay, the letter B, you know, that kind of thing. All right, so I'm going to put that aside. And now we're going to start today's actual video. So I decided we're doing altered books. Now, I had mentioned on the last video that there were two of them that I wanted to do. My Reader's Digest and Robin Hood. So I have started them. I have watched, probably 20 to 30 videos, somewhere 25 videos. And so basically it boils down to signature, glued in. All right, so there's a lot of controversy on the videos. Everybody has their own way of doing it, and I've come to the conclusion there is no right or wrong. Where are my notes? It starts off, there is no steadfast rule. Adjust whenever you want to. The goal is to make room for extra things you add in. Some people swear by one type of journal, others swear by another. And I think both ways will work. They just work a little differently, right? So, let me first explain the two different kinds of binding. Now, when we create junk journals, we use signatures. These are, well, this one I already started taking apart. But, wait a minute. Is that the signature one? Yeah, that's the signature one. Did I put the wrong stack with the wrong ones? Yeah, I did. These are these are glued in. Oh, no, okay, so these two. This one is hard to see, but these two. See, when you look in, and I'm going to make sure that you can see this. Yeah, I'm kind of on the side. My paper clips are there. Okay, so yeah, it's going to take a lot of room because I'm showing you both books. So, this one, if you look, see right here, that is binded. Just like the way we bind our junk journals, it is binded. Now, when you go to the middle, you will see the strings, the stitching, right? So that's a binded book. So it has its way to function, because with this, if you think of it, if you remove a page from this side, the attached page on this side will also come out. So with a binded book, you got to take equal pages from this side and this side out. And then you leave the same, like you leave the connecting ones in, 2 or 3 or whatever you decide. Some people will open the binding. A lot of times these two pages between the signatures, these two pages are glued together. Because this is a very old book, it has unglued. Like you can see the canvas in there that it was glued onto. But most of the time, these two are glued together. That holds the signatures together. So when it comes to the binding, some people will open the binding, remove the pages, and just keep the signature pages. Now, this comes under the idea of how much you're going to stuff the books. If you are a stuffer and you really like to stuff, then yeah, open the binding, take all these out, keep the glued page, and that's your page. So if you have 10 bindings, you would then have 10 double pages. Do you know what I mean? And then those pages you could add your tucks and your pockets and your ephemera and everything into it. So it all depends on how you want to do your journals. I will not be breaking these strings. Some people don't break them. They'll keep the one or two in the middle there, and then they will remove all the other ones that are in here. So, but because it's binded, it's a different technique than the other book. This one's another one. It just looked like that. You can see very plainly it's been binded. I love this book. I'll probably never take it apart. It's the Danish way to live well. Anyways, I love this book. It's usually on my living room coffee table. But anyways, so these are the binded one, and my Robin Hood is a binded one. So I will take that away and now show you the other type of book. Now, these are harder to find. I find them mostly in paperback books. This is a hardcover, and it's a pretty big book. But the only other ones in my book collection that I could find were these. Now, if you look at it, you do not see the binding. And that's because it is glued onto a material that is then glued to the cover. See this one, when you open it up? See what I mean? Doesn't matter where you open it up, you cannot find the signatures. There is no loop back here. And that's because each page is like they put the pages together, they paint glue, they put a canvas, maybe paint some more glue, and then put the cover on. Now, these are soft covers, so I guess maybe that's normal. I don't know if soft covers have the two different types, but this one I found to be the same. Now, I don't know, because there is this material there, I don't know if that is the canvas and they used a pretty canvas and that's why you can't see the signatures, or if it was actually glued in. But you see how you cannot see the loop back here? There's no where the page is connected, which means this is individual pages. These pages, one page was printed. Like they probably printed a whole row of papers, and then there was a machine, and the machine cut the pages, and then the pages were lined up, and then glue, canvas, more glue, possibly the cover, and then the liner they put across the whole thing once it was all put together. So this is a glued in binding, a glued binding. So one's a sewed in binding, which is what we do, and some books are glue binding. And so there you have it. Now, my Reader's Digest, and from what I could see, most Reader's Digest that I have seen on people's videos are like this. See, they're all glued in. So when you rip out pages at the beginning, they come out pretty neat. But you don't want that, because when this compacts, see, It does not hold it together. Now, you can't help that. When you rip out pages, it's going to rip as it rips, however way it rips. See here, these, you can see the ends of the other papers are still in there. Well, that's nice, because then when you fill it, you know what I mean? It gives the spine the support. Now, there's nothing we can do about it. I just wanted to explain that this, if you have some there, it's okay. It's actually good. That's all I wanted to say about that. But this, because there's no binding, you can take whatever pages out you want. You want them equally throughout the book, so there's not more pages here and less pages here. You know what I mean? Like, you're taking them out with a number sequence. You know, like you leave 3 in, you take 5 out. You leave 3 in, you take 5 out. That kind of thing. You want an even spacing for the protection of the binding. Yeah, so that's a glued in. And that is a sewn in. All right, so I'm going to go through my notes here. Some books have thin papers, like this one. It's very old, very thin. So to protect the pages, you want to glue 2 or 3 together to make one page. So when you take pages out, you have to consider every page you take out. You cannot take just one out. For every page you take out, you need to take 2, just to give it a little more strength. Now, these newer books, this one is extremely thick pages, so I'm not worried. And this one is a little bit thinner, but you know, if you glue 2 pages together, that's fine. You know, you have the option whether you do or not. But on the thinner pages, you absolutely have to. Just so that the page it's less likely to rip out. Okay, so thicker pages are preferred, but they're not absolute. Like, you can do it with the thinner ones too. Now, when you rip out your pages, you gotta think in your head, are you going to use these pages to make tucks and pockets and belly bands? So what I've done with this one is I've allowed, from my stitching, 3 pages on either side. Now, when I get to the end and I see that I want more pages out, I'll go back and remove 1 here and 1 here. Right? Because you got to do it balanced. But I may do it with every second signature. So with the binded in, and even the other one, you have to think, are you going to be using the pages that are still attached to make your pockets and tucks? Or are you going to create some and glue them in? Because if you're going to make some and glue it in, then you can take out more pages, right? Because you don't need those pages to make them. I'm choosing, at least in this one, I think in this one too, but this one definitely, I'm keeping enough pages that I can do, you know, like multiple tucks or multiple whatever. Like, I'm keeping 3 pages on either side. So if I want to do a double side pocket, I've got the 3 pages to do it. And then with these 3 pages on this side, which you'll understand as we go along, this one, I may want to, you know, fold this side at an angle, and then maybe I'll do a double angle or that way, or like, there's so many ways you can create pockets. So, you know, you could fold one down and then have, or fold it down twice, but connect it in the middle. So it would be the same as this side pocket, but here you would sew down the middle or glue down the middle so that it would be 2 pockets and then 2 pockets instead of 2 tucks complete. You know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of ways. But that's why you need to save some pages. If you're going to do pockets and tucks within the book, you need to save extra pages for that. Unless you're going to add them in, then you don't need to save those extra pages. Now, if you're going to use it to do like a lot of pockets and tucks and put a whole bunch of ephemera and little booklets to write in and all that kind of stuff, you're adding a lot of things. And then you need a lot of room. If you're using the book as a painting thing where you're playing with colors, playing with stencils and stamps and just trying to create a beautiful picture, then you don't need to rip out as many pages as I am. I've seen one girl, she keeps 2, she rips out 2. She keeps 2, she rips out 2. Mind you, that was the glued book, not this one. So with this one, you would just have to make sure that on either side, no, let's go back over here. Okay, I think this is where I left off. So either side of the binding, oh, what did I do here? Hold on a second. Okay, that is the stitching in the middle. Okay, see, this is the stitching here in the middle. So if you want to keep 2, get rid of 2, what you can do is go 1, 2, and then get rid of those 2. But it's not always going to end the same way. And when it comes to the stitching, you do not, and I saw somebody on the video swear by it, and they were copying someone else. But I believe the logic of someone else I watched. And like I said, I watched so many videos. I don't know who I watched and who I didn't. But you do not want to glue these 2 pages together. Now, the stitching is here. Now, think of it logically. If you glue this page and this page together, and then you've got pockets and tucks on it, all that weight is pulling on the stitching. And that page is gonna fall out. If you glue this side of the stitching, page 1 and 2 together, and then on this side, page 1 and 2, you're gluing together, they're not pulling at, like this way. They are pulling this way, like outward instead of downward. And so it gives it more strength, in my opinion. And I'm trying to think of it in a logic way, because when I found this controversy, everyone that I came across, I would judge, okay, well, if you do it this way, this happens. If you do it that way, that happens. And that's why I like to watch and do a lot of research, a lot of videos I watch on how they do it and why. Because I believe the theory that if you have the stitching here and you glue these 2 pages together, that pull, flipping, constant is going to wear and tear on the stitches. And honestly, it could rip the stitches. If it's an old book, those stitches are very fragile. But if you glue these 2 pages and these 2 pages, they're tugging more outward as opposed to this way. And like, because it goes with gravity, right? So I don't know. In my opinion, that's the way I think works best, and that's the one I'm gonna do. That's the way I'm gonna try it. But if it's a painting book, you only need half the amount of pages. You don't need that many. Like if it's an art journal or even a collage journal, you might keep 2, take out 3. If it's a glued book, you can do that. If not, then you have to take out 4. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to explain. It depends on what you're using it for. All right, that page of notes is gone. Now also remember, it's a junk journal. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's just to have fun and let the creative side of your brain get exercise and, just to have fun and be creative. All right, so now we're going to go through the process. Now, again, these two books are done differently. With this one, all my paper clips here, I went through and looked for all the signatures. So the binded in signatures are these here. Now, yes, one page on either side is also part of that signature, but it will not pull out. Like if I see, it won't go with it because it's been glued. So what the bookmaker does is they'll make the signatures, but then in between each signature, they put a bead of glue so that the last page of this signature and the first page of that one are actually connected. Now, I showed you the older book. It already had separated. The glue separated. You don't want the glue to separate because that gives it strength. So where the glue is, on those pages, I will choose to glue them together, to keep them, because that's going to help to hold in the signatures, right? So the pages that are being glued together, I put a very boring silver paper clip because there's no thinking involved. You glue it, it just stays. And then this will be a page that I'll decorate, or I'll put some writing spots or whatever. The big colored, now I used the big ones because that's what I had. The big colored ones are the ones where I'm choosing from the stitching. One more page. Okay, from the stitching, I'm keeping 1, 2, 3 pages on that side. 1, 2, 3 pages on that side. And I'm keeping the stitches intact. Now, I will not glue these together. What I will do is use these for pockets and tucks. So I will make a triple one there. Maybe on this one, I will do, like an angle and then a smaller angle, like this kind of thing. Or there are other ways. But I'm keeping 3 on either side of the signature with a colorful paper clip. So I know this is the pretty one. This has color, which means I get to play with it. Now, I may end up just, if you wanted to, you could just glue these 3 together and these 3 together, and it's done. Or glue this, or not glue it at all. Just keep these 2 middle ones loose and only use 2. Oh, I'm missing one here. Okay, so this must be the middle. Use these 2 just to do, basic pockets. Nothing double or triple or anything. Just basic, And then just leave these loose, and that's fine. The loose ones or the glued 2 pages together, those are to decorate, not to do pockets and tucks, just to decorate. Now, this is the way I'm thinking of doing my first one, just to understand all about it, right? This is a learning experience. Yeah, so I just go through the whole book, and I'm going to do some more with you. So that's a glued page. That's a pocket and tuck page. Glue page, pocket and tuck. Glue, pocket and tuck. Glue, pocket and tuck. So when I'm done, I'm going to have 2 pocket pages, 1 plain page. 2 pocket pages, 1 plain page. Now, if I decide to, I could add the 2 pages, but on either side, it'll be a pocket page. So then you'll have a glued page, a pocket page, a plain page, another plain page, a pocket page, and a glued page. You got me? Okay, well, anyways, we're just going to continue that process. So here, so see here, that's a glue page, that's a glue page. This is the middle of the signature, we'll say, because technically this page and this page is part of the signature, right? But because it was glued in between the signatures, it is not like flexible, like you cannot, like this is the signature that's still together. That is flexible. You can see the string here, you can see the stitches, I should say, on either side. And we're going to have to clean this up afterwards. But anyways, so I'm going to take this off, go to the middle of the signature, and you can tell because it's binded, the page goes on both sides, right? So it's flush here and it's flush in the back. All right. So now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Take out. Oh, I already did this one. Never mind. I already did this one. That one. Oh, here. So these big paper clips, when I first go through the book, I look where the signature is and I'll put a paper clip. And then the 2 loose pages, I'll put the silver on it. And then I do the clip, and then we do the silver. That's where I left off. And then this one was weird. So what they did a full signature in the back, but here it's only 2 pages. And I don't want to take it out because wherever the string is, these 2 pages and these 2 are glued, right? No. See, this one is a signature. But this page, yeah, this page is glued. See, you cannot see the stitches. So these 2 are glued together. And then this signature is only 2 pages. So I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm just trying to set up the book. So we may just leave them. So I'll have a double page, single page, double page. And that's fine. So then this is another signature, but this one's really big. I think they made a mistake, and some of these pages were supposed to be in that other one, but it's not. So we will deal with that after. Anyway, so paper clip for the signature, silver for the 2 glued pages. Then I'll go back to the beginning and I'll go through these clips and throw it in the bin. And then look, okay, so that's where the signature is. So I had put a paper clip, but we're going to take those off. Okay, so now the stitches, the thread, you can actually see the thread of the stitches. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, drop it, hold the 3, and then go 1, 2, 3, and drop it. Now the 3 and 3, so 6 in the middle, you want to make sure that they are connected, right? So then that you will paper clip together, and so between the glued page and the nice page, we are now going to remove whatever's in between. One, it should be 4. And I'm doing 1 page at a time. 2, 3, 4. Then you don't want to touch that, right? This is it's what's in between these two that you're doing. Now, if you go over here, there's the silver and there's the colored. It'll be 4 pages in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 were connected to these 4. So when you pull them out, they should come out pretty easily. Now, I don't know why this one, maybe the stitches are really tight. Oh, there, that one was easier. If the stitches are really tight, you may have to tug a little. But see, when I first pull it out, I can see that that was ripped on the other side previously. But some of them, when you pull really hard, you're not sure because you're pulling pretty hard. So what you can always do is go back and check and make sure. And then if you have some good tweezers or pointed nose pliers, you can pull out these ragged edges. I'll go through the book at the end and take that all out. But so now these are my pockets and tucks. This is my 2-page glued together. Now, here, my 2 pages. So those are my glued pages. And now, see, this one I did not split. So, we're going to find the middle. Oh, look at that. Oh, no, 1 more page. There. It's smooth on both sides. Okay. So, this is 1, 2, 3. Oh, did I already do this one? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, that one's good. Whether I did it or not, I don't know. Doesn't matter. All right. And here. Oh, this is the 2-page weird one. Okay, so there's only 1 section left. Yeah, see, you just got to make sure that it is free of this page and this page. And then you know that is actually a section. And then you're looking for the stitch. And to confirm, because like my stitch is the same color as the page, so it's very hard to see it. You only see the stitch holes. So what I do is I rub my finger. That's 1 page. Rub my finger. Yeah, there's no extra pages. So I know this is the middle of the signature. And then we go 1, 2, 3. Drop it. 1, 2, 3. Make sure, yep, that's a signature. Put a paper clip in it. All right. So now, oh, there's only 3 pages. Oh, 4 pages to remove. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's fine. Now you could, some people will keep this just to double it up. See how this one's glued together? So those will be glued together. And then, see, this page is all by itself. So what you can do, and this is the little bit of tweaking you can do, as long as there's no center of the signature, which the center of the signature is in here. These are the pages to rip out. So what I might do is only rip 2 out. Keep these 2 to glue together. These 2 are glued together. And then these 2 will come out. but then the other two will stay intact. So instead of taking 4 pages, I might end up only taking 2. Now let's see what I did at the beginning. I have my cover and my glued page, and then it's my pockets, and then it's the glued. Yeah, so these two get glued together, and then it starts right away in pockets. So if these two are glued together, I don't need to save this because I didn't do it in the front. And I like to make it as symmetrical as possible. So there's my 4 pages. And so I'll rip them out with the attached pages. And then it's been prepped. After that, hold on, let's do this first. Now, because they are binded pages, when you start at the top, sometimes you do have to help it along just to make sure it rips properly. Okay, and then the ones on this side now have to be pulled out. Okay, now I think these were also, yeah, these were also, because I was going to glue them. Well, I decided not to. There. All right, so the book has been decided. That's what it looks like. Now you have to decide at this point, do I take more pages out or am I going to leave it as is? It's not that many pages that we took out. See, if you look at it, not even half the pages I took out. So I think I'm going to go back, and then every second pocket section, I'm going to take 1 more page out of each one. So 1 more, yeah, 1 more on this side. And then 1 on this side. And then I'll put the paper clip back on. And then I'll skip this one. And then this one, I'll do the same thing. I'll do another one on this side. And the adjoining one on this side. And then put the paper clip back in. Because that's our pretty colored one, right? That's, oh no, we skip that one and then we do the next one. Did I do that right? Rip, skip, rip, skip. Yeah, so this one is going to be ripped. So 1 on this side. And then the adjoining one. See, like that one. It felt like I was ripping a new page, but I wasn't. Anyways. So I ripped, skip, rip. Oh, did I put the, I didn't put the paper clip back on. See, this is also where you want your workspace to be clear, because then, you know, you can see what's what. Okay, so there we go. So that was rip, skip. This one will be rip, right? Yes. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to do it. If I make a boo-boo, oh well. So there, rip that one. Go to the other side. And then take that one out. See, that didn't feel like it was the adjoining, but it was. Yeah, it was the adjoining. Anyways, whatever. We'll clean it up later. All right, skip and rip. Oh, that one was so easy. Okay, and then we put the paper clip. Now, if you wanted to, this glued page, if you wanted to, you could save another page from either side, because it's not a binding, right? It's the two signatures glued together. So you could save two pages, and then make this into pockets and stuff. It's still being glued at the lower part. If you do side tucks, if you do corner, angled, whatever you do, it's still, those two middle pages will be glued together. So I'm just thinking it might be better if you want to do pockets and tucks. The glued one have 2 pages and 2 pages, which makes 4. And then you can glue maybe the 2 middle ones together, and then do a pocket on either side, like a single pocket. So it's all up to you. I'm just choosing it this way only because for my brain it's easier, because I'm not used to doing this. So I don't know how to plan out what I do. So step 1, take it easy and just, see, this is a 2 page. So I'm skipping 2 actually and going to this one to rip more pages. Yeah, so make the formula, like your numbers of how many you rip and how many you leave. Keep it simple for the first time around, because until you experience it, you don't know what to expect, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. All right. So it's a little thinner. And remember, you want everything symmetrical. So if you take some off, certain ones off one side, you got to do it throughout the whole book, not just in one section. I don't know, because like I like using these paper clips, because when you add in ephemera and stuff, this kind of compensates for it. And then if you look at it with just a little bit added, the book is, because the wider this is, the more stress it's on the binding, right? So I think for now, I'm going to leave it like that. And then my homework tonight will be the silver pages, the silver ones. Whichever ones are being 2 pages glued together, I'll do that tonight, because I would prefer letting it dry overnight. I'm just going to use a glue stick to stick the 2 pages together. But I'm going to leave it standing up like this overnight. And then tomorrow we'll come back and do the colored pages into tucks and pockets. All right. So for this video, I will leave you here. I don't even know how much time's on it. The next video, which I'm going to do right away, is going to be prepping this book. So think of this one as prepped. So now we go through the sections and we start figuring our pages out. So I'm, like I said, glue tonight, leave it overnight. Tomorrow I'll come back. We'll do all the pockets and tucks. And the pockets and tucks, actually it might be next week, because I'm going to have this video too. So this will be today's video. This will be Saturday's video. And then I'm off for a few days. Running errands and, you know, other things. I have to go to the seamstress. We need groceries, like all that kind of stuff. Catch up on housework. I didn't do my laundry this week, so I got double next week. Anyways, yeah, so probably Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll do the pockets and tucks on both of them. So if you're following along and you've done the same as me, the silver and the colored, or even if you did small paper clips and big paper clips, that would work too. So all the small silver ones are going to be glued, stood up like this overnight, and then next week we'll come back and do the pockets. I know I said that, what, 3 times? So the next video, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to read the rest of my notes with this one. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, if anybody on YouTube says, you know, this is the better way, question it. Because what works for one not necessarily works for the other. The only time I take their word for it is if they're showing journals that they did like 10 years ago or 12 years ago. They did this altered book and it's still holding in place. They're the ones I want to know, how did they do it? Right? Also, if you are making an altered book and you're putting it on the shelf and you're saving it for 10 years, that's not a book that's being used, right? Not being looked at, being played with, shall we say. So, does it really, like, does it carry weight in your decision making as to whether that is the better way to do it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to offend anybody, and everybody does things their own way, and everybody has the right to do that. But if you're going to do yours, you want to do yours the best way you know how. And so you do your research and you try it out. This is my first attempt. These 2 books, I am going to be decorating and making them all pretty, stuff them to the gill, well, as much as I like to stuff. And then I'm going to have it on my coffee table in the living room so people can look at it, like whoever comes over. And I will tell you in 5 or 10 years whether they held up being coffee table books, right? And then that would be a reliable information. So that's why I wanted to do one of each type, you know, pretty much the same way, and then see what the results are in like 5 to 10 years. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and comment down below your opinions and your reasoning for your opinions. I definitely love hearing from everybody. I love to hear other people's ideas. Also with my grandmother's cover, if you have any ideas on how I could decorate it. And remember to do what makes you happy, and everything else will fall into place. All right. I'll see you on the next video, which will be in a few minutes with the other book. Love you guys. Bye for now.